Good afternoon. Welcome to Ageless Living, where healthy choices you make can make living ageless. I am Dr. Tong Lee.
And I am Kurt Wilhelm, the co-host of the show here on Ageless Living, and we appreciate you tuning into the show today.
And today we're going to talk about alternative medicine, and another name for it is complementary medicine.
Great name.
There's a recent article in USA Today.
It talks about integrative medicine. So integrative medicine is essentially both sides of the picture using a great complement. So if we're only having the medical practices in what we would view as physicians in modern medicine today, if they leave out the other side of complementary medicine, then it's not integrative.
Right. The article actually brings up a controversy.
Mm-hmm.
Is it really working? Is it magic, healing, or is it quackery?
Correct. And so we're going to be talking about that in our second segment. So don't go away during this segment. Don't fade out, because we're going to be kind of setting the stage today a little bit about ageless living and the premise of the show. We want to talk also a little bit about some of our backgrounds. Dr. Lee is a very humble person and sometimes doesn't come forward with her excellent qualifications. What's wonderful about Dr. Lee is that she has an Eastern medicinal degree that she got while she was in China growing up. Then she came to the United States and also received her medical license to practice here in the United States. So she actually is an anesthesiologist practicing at Banner Health and a couple of other places, correct?
That's correct.
So she's very accomplished as a Western physician as well, and so we love having her as part of this show today. And I think as listeners, you're going to love having her be able to give both perspectives of Eastern and Western medicine. Now, a lot of times we think that just because it's Eastern, then it doesn't integrate well or is not complementary to Western medicine, and that's kind of what we're talking about, is the integration of both of those. We're going to talk about that later. Now, the other thing that is just, it isn't Eastern or Western, it's just good nutrition and being healthy and fit, and looking and feeling healthy, and part of health is having a balanced life. So those are some of the things that we're going to be talking about on the show, but some of the other things that I can give a testimonial to is that Dr. Lee is part owner, and you'll be able to meet her owner, who will come and co-host the show sometimes with us as well. Dr. Robledo, Jose Robledo, is also just a wonderful practitioner. He actually is a cosmetic surgeon, and what are his other? There's other degrees that he has as well.
He's a board-certified ear, nose, throat, and facial plastic surgeon, and head and neck surgeon.
Very good. So these are all, when we start talking about those areas, we will have Dr. Robledo on the show. In fact, he will be joining us next week on our show. So make sure you stay tuned for or tune into our show next week as well. Now, Dr. Robledo and Dr. Lee co-own Arizona Laser and Skin, and I actually have we've been marketing their company for about a year, and now I have the honor of being able to be a co-host on the show that she owns here, and we really appreciate the opportunity to be able to co-host that with Dr. Lee. So Arizona Laser and Skin, what is unique and different about Arizona Laser and Skin, and if anybody has heard me talking on my other shows, The Social Universe, about this, I've testimonialized the experience of going to Arizona Laser and Skin, which if you want to go to their website, it's azmdlaser.com. You can find more about the direct services that you can get there. But don't just look at those services and think that's all you're going to get. When you do arrive at Arizona Laser and Skin, they are going to give you a lot of holistic good advice, because Dr. Lee also is an acupuncturist, and from that she has a whole outgrowth of holistic practices, nutrition, and do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Oh, absolutely. We believe health is both inside and outside, so you have to be healthy in order to look good. Even though the final result is we want people to look good, and you have to start from getting healthy. So a lot of the treatments we do start from if a patient have a desire or a medical problem, we can offer the acupuncture and health advices. And the treatments we have, in addition to those, are the choices with natural product and safe choices. So we're unique in that way. We're also unique in the way that we are physician-owned. We're always there, and many med spas. And many med spas, even though it's called med spas, you won't see a doctor there.
Yeah, there's an overseeing physician who almost never. They just essentially hang the license, and that's it.
So the kind of safety, quality, and caring is not the same.
Very much agreed. On my previous show, just leading up to this show, I was talking about my experience with them, that many times they'll give me holistic solutions rather than buying an $80 lotion. They'll give me something that holistically works just as well, that maybe costs 89 cents, maybe it costs 33 cents. And these are all things that they just care about your health, your pocketbook. They want you to be able to get the best experience possible when you arrive.
Right. We also help people to make good choices in their lives. I think, as a physician, as a healthcare provider, you can only do so much. You yourself is the most powerful source of your beauty and health.
Absolutely. I'll give you a good example, and this is where the biggest, if I could compare the med spa experience of going to Arizona Laser and Skin to the med spa experience of going somewhere else, there's two major differences. One is that they are going to work with you to become beautiful or handsome in the best way that you can, in the most holistic way possible, and that's number one. Number two, they're going to do it in the least expensive way possible. So they will actually turn down patients who want them to give very expensive treatments when less expensive treatment could be given.
If that's not appropriate for them or not the best choice for them.
Correct. Now, if the expensive one is the best one, you can rest assured they're recommending it because it's the best one.
That's correct.
If there could be a better alternative that is less expensive, they will recommend that. And if it's not good for you at all, they'll turn you down. I've actually referred people over to Arizona Laser and Skin. They've said, okay, put me on the table, give me liposuction, pull it all off of me. And they'll say, come back in 6 months after you're referred to a personal trainer. We need you to pull that back down.
We tell people, if they are overweight and they want to reduce the droopy jaws and neck, and we tell them lose the weight first. Then you have a longer lasting results, and we've had multiple people do that first and return to us.
Absolutely. But it is a risk that they take at Arizona Laser and Skin, that if they refer them out to a personal trainer, one of two things will happen. They might have such a great experience with a personal trainer, they do like I did, drop all 80 pounds off, and then maybe they don't return and they lose them as a client. But
they may need a skin tightening afterwards.
Absolutely. But that's the point, is that they have great bedside manner, meaning that when you go to Arizona Laser and Skin, they are recommending the best thing for you, not for their pocketbook. It's the best thing for you. And then when you are done losing the weight properly, so that there's an even distribution on your body, when you come back, your skin might be hanging a little bit. There's some things that are not perfect about losing a lot of weight all at once. And better is to spend your money on tightening your skin rather than losing your money on pulling in liposuction, where you haven't changed your lifestyle. You're just going to get fat all over again. And if you pull it off your face or your waist, you might look like you have a rubber band around you in strange places.
There are so many newer and better technologies out there. They're non-surgical, less invasive. So we also emphasize on that because it's always safer and better for you.
Now, we normally are going to be ending our first segment with some of the health dangers that you need to watch out for when it comes to making yourself beautiful. People sometimes do things that are not good to themselves, and their med spa will do it for them, even though it might be a little bit dangerous. And so you want to cover maybe one or two things that they should watch out for when they go to med spas.
Well, a common or easy one to mention is Botox, because a lot of us love Botox.
I know a lot of women
You
love it.
can, the point is you can't get too much Botox. In each treatment, you can get too much Botox and you would look stiff
Mhm.
and not natural. That's why on the television sometimes we see public figures, we wonder what's done to them that don't look natural. Well, it could be
Joan
too much.
Rivers.
It could be too much Botox.
Mhm.
And while we are seeing the value of Botox for youthful appearance, we don't believe in too much of it.
Mhm.
We try to get the most natural look with the least amount that you can get.
Absolutely.
That's just one easy one. There's other health tips, and obviously those are more specific to the treatment type, like laser treatments and to different skin type, different ethnicity, and there are different choices.
Absolutely. For example, if I want you to pull me back on this one. Here's a health danger. If you go into a med spa and you want to test whether or not they really have your best interest in mind or just their pocketbook, go in and ask for too much of something you know is too much. And if they say, okay, go ahead, just sign right here, then run and go down and see Arizona Laser and Scan. Is that a good litmus test?
I guess that's a good one, yeah.
All right, sounds good. I think we're getting close to time for break. But before we go to break, were there any other health dangers that people should watch out for?
You mean in the cosmetic field or in the health field?
In the cosmetic side, from the standpoint of a med spa in particular.
We have seen people being scarred
Mm-hmm.
from laser treatments or photofacial treatments. The laser is like a tool. The results depend on how it was used, who's operating it. It's not the equipment itself causing the problem, it's the operator. So you do definitely want to go to some experienced med spas, practitioners, to ensure the best quality of treatment, because you can, even with the state-of-the-art, the best technology, get harmed.
Our videographer will appreciate this today. He's actually an internationally renowned artist, and I want to make a comparison between these two, is that you can take the same paintbrush, you can take the same painting tools.
That's right.
And paint junk, or you can actually paint amazing beauty. And so you want to actually go to the med spa that has the artisans, and I think that's one of the things that's important that Dr. Lee has brought up, is that when you have someone who's gone through years and years of schooling, you actually have the physician, the licensed physician on site, who is going to be doing and performing these services for you. That first of all, they have the experience, but second of all, they're an experienced practitioner artisan. So they have your best interest in mind, yes, but they also, you become a piece of art to them. You're their Mona Lisa. They want you to look amazing. And so when somebody is willing to do something that you know is not going to make you look good, test them out. And if they're not having a good experience there, come down to AZ Laser and Skin, found at azmdlaser.com. So thanks for tuning in here on the Social Universe. We thank all of our listeners for tuning in. We're going to go to break. When we come back, we're going to talk about integrative medicine, why the controversy is there, and how you can benefit the most from it. Thanks for tuning in here on the Social Universe. On Ageless Living.